Hey gun people, I just did a video on kind of situational awareness where this news crew was shot, and the guy had the gun and was standing there and was a prior worker who had been fired and who obviously didn't get along with him, and they never saw him. So a little incident happened today that I'm going to go into, and I'm getting some firewood, stocking up for the winter here. This in my truck right now is what's called a half a cord. So I hear a lot of things describing how big a cord is and how it isn't. I've gotten a few half cords, and normally it's 3 rows. You notice 3 logs of rows across the bed and a little high. Now I know this is a half cord because, and some people call it a rick. A rick is a half cord. A half a rick is a quarter cord, and then you have a cord. And this right here should be 4 feet high, 20 to 22 inch logs with 4 feet high and 4 feet wide. So that's what a half cord is. A full cord is 8 feet long. If they're stacked like this, it's 8 feet long and 4 feet high, and the same type of logs. Now, so I've been looking around trying to get the better deal for firewood and stuff, so I've been kind of, I found this place. I like their logs because you notice how far it sticks out on the back of the truck, because those are longer logs. I was buying a half cord from this other Yahoo who was selling it to me because I couldn't find it anywhere else, and I could literally shut my tailgate and have 3 rows of logs, and they weren't that high. So what's that telling me is he's cutting the wood smaller. It's not stacking as high, and because it wasn't as long, I was losing a lot of wood, and that's a lot of wood burning. But anyway, that's firewood 101, I guess. So I'm gonna talk about the little incident that happened on this on me going to get this firewood here. So the sun's out here, so I'll put my glasses on so I can't see that video anyway. All right. So I've been calling around Craigslist and trying to find a place to buy firewood, going through a bunch of people, and so there was this one guy who had an advertisement who had the best price on wood. Firewood around here is going for about, I paid $100 for a half cord, so it's $200 a cord. Some places are up to $250, $275 a cord, and then as soon as August is over, on September 1st, they raise the price because they know people are getting closer to winter. And if you don't buy September, they raise the price again because they want to slow how much they sell and make more money for waiting later. So that's why I'm buying in the middle of August when it's hot. Nobody wants to load and do firewood, but I get it cheaper. And it's hot out here. It was hotter than a hooker on nickel night. Let me tell you, I'm sweating my butt off. I had to go to cool off, but it's kind of calming down, so I'm going to unload this because I've been loading and unloading. Nobody loads it. When you get that price, you load it, you unload it. So this guy has... He's got a cord of wood for $175. I go, well, that's $25. Okay, if I'm buying 3 cords, you know, that's $75. That's pretty good savings, as long as I don't have to drive and spend $75 in gas. So this guy doesn't put an address on his Craigslist ad. He just puts firewood and he gives the city. Well, when he gives the city, I call him and I go, hey man, I hear you guys firewood. I want to go take a look at it. Maybe I'll buy a half cord from you. Okay, pretty nice guy, kind of has an excuse, he kind of flip-flops, let me call you back. We play phone tag 3 or 4 times. I finally say, hey dude, just give me, when are you out there? And he goes, well, I'm always out there cutting. I said, well then just give me the address and I'll come out there. He goes, well, you know, it's off of road 3650. I'm not sure what the address is. Why don't I meet you at the gas station? I'm like, well, alright. So again, hairs on the back of my neck are standing up saying, this is odd. Why would you be conducting a business, yet you don't want to put your address on there? So when I ask him about that, because after I try to meet him, he tells me, he goes, I'll meet you at the gas station on this road 82, and there's a gas station with a big flagpole. And he goes, I'll be in there. He didn't know the name of the gas station. I'm like, really, dude? So I'm driving down the road, and I get out, I'm going down 82, I'm like, dude, every gas station has a flag on it. Of course, he doesn't answer his phone, so I'm driving around waiting for him to answer. Then when he does call back 15 minutes later, he's like, hey, I'm at the Conoco. And I'm like, Jesus, So after we placed phone tag, I finally said, screw it. I had to go get some paint and finish up painting my house. So I went to Home Depot, got some paint, and said, screw it. I said, dude, it's too much trouble. You can't meet me. You can't give me the address. You can't give me the right location. I said, look, I want to help you out. And he goes, well, I really need this firewood because I'm paying for some medical expenses, and if I don't sell it, I can't pay. And I go, well, look. I said, no hard feelings. I just don't have time right now to be driving up and down looking for you. I'll call you back, and you know, you get the address, whatever, and I'll try it again, and I'll try to throw you some business. So I called him today because I'm in that same area, and because I found this place that has firewood for $100 a half cord. It's a little more expensive than him, but it's closer. I found out it's closer. So the story goes as I'm going, and this has a point. I'm sorry, I'm kind of taking long. I kind of want to get you in a mind frame on what the cues were and how I got into this, what I call, I forgot the name we called it, evasive driving or counterintelligence. When we're following somebody as a cop, and we can tell when somebody does counter surveillance or counter driving, we will notice that they are making turns and going in circles to see if somebody's following them. Now, I'm always doing counter surveillance. I'm counter surveillance of my area. I'm counter surveillance of the crowd. If I'm in a restaurant, I'm counter surveillance. Somebody's going to come in and rob it. I've just got that from years of being a cop, having a gun, not wanting to get my back and get shot by some parolee that got out of jail that I didn't know about, or get attacked by a gang member who knows me, or the place gets robbed and then my gun shows and they see I'm a cop, so they shoot me first. So over the years, you just kind of develop that. So I'm always doing a little counter surveillance when I'm driving around, making sure if I don't see a car behind me, why is this car following me? Why is he with me the last 3 turns? I'm always looking in my rearview mirror. And crooks do that too, which is why as cops, when we follow people, I mean, when we're following the money, if we're doing controlled drug buys or we're selling guns or, you know, doing some food stamp sting or something, when we were selling things that we had to follow the money or follow the product, we'd always have 5 cars or so in a surveillance team. And that way you can have multiple cars following this guy, and then every 2 or 3 blocks, the front car that's closest turns right and peels off. So if he's looking, he's like, okay, I thought that car was calm fine, but he turned off. I guess he didn't. Now we have 4 other cars. And maybe the 4 other cars, one guy makes a, you know, if I'm number 3 car, I'll make a right turn, I'll floor it, make another right turn, come back, and then make a left turn, and I'll jump back into the pack. And the guy that peels off, peels around to the back. So it's hard to, when you've got all these cars following somebody, when they're looking behind, they're not going to notice the same guy. And then, of course, we had aircraft. We'd be talking to some guy, the airplane would be following him, so we could, you know, lengthen our covering. Okay, you guys are good. You're 1 mile back. Yeah, we got him. There's no place. Okay, just took this exit. Be ready. And then they would tell us, and we would follow them with the airplane. Unless they got in a tree wooded area where the airplane would lose them, then we would have to pick up our closer surveillance. So counter surveillance is nothing new. And we got burnt sometimes. Somebody would get too close, wouldn't turn off enough. The guy would make a left turn in an area where no cars are at. And so 3 cars would turn left, and he'd be like, that's kind of odd. And then he'd turn right, and then maybe only 2 cars would turn right. And then the next intersection, the other car would catch up, or he'd catch a cop speeding, you know, coming around the corner, shit, I got to catch up, and he's flooring it, and all of a sudden he pulls out, and you're coming up at 70, and you slow down, you're like, oh shit, I better pull off. So, I mean, they know when they're being followed if they're doing their good counter surveillance. So I call this guy today back to the firewood, still no address. I say, hey man, I'm on 82 again, why don't you give me the address, I'll punch it in my phone, I'll go there. He goes, oh, I'm right in the street. He goes, why don't you meet me at the Shell station? I'm like, again with the gas station? What the hell? How's this guy in business? And plus, he's going to give a multiple discount. If you buy 3 cords of wood, he said he'd give it to you for $150 a cord, which is $50 cheaper. And that, you know, you can get 3 cords of wood for, what, 450 bucks? That's a good deal. Because this half cord right here, if I got 3 cords of wood, it cost me 600 bucks. So that's a significant savings. So I'm like, man, if this guy's a good firewood source, I kind of want to see what he's got and see how it's cut and is it stacked and whatever. So we meet at the Shell station. There he is. He comes up. He tells me he's in a black kind of cop. I got a black Suburban. It looks like a cop car. Blah, blah. Okay. Pull up. He sees me. I see him. How you doing? He walks over. I go, okay, I'll follow you. He goes, yeah, it's just right up the road here. So we go down this road. We leave the town we're in. We're still going. I'm like, where the hell are we going? 5-10 miles later, he turns right. And he probably knew that I was getting a little irritated because I'm like, shit, by the time I pay for gas, going all this way out of town. I've got to turn around and go all the way back. I said, it ain't going to be worth the savings. So he calls me as we take the exit, and he goes, hey man, about 5 miles up the road, he goes, we'll be there in a second. He goes, we're just taking a turn here. We got a couple more turns. Well, I already don't believe anything the guy says because he's already kind of flaky. He's kind of flaky. There's all kind of hairs anyway that I don't trust the guy. Then when I met him, he didn't look, you know, he's a white dude, ponytail, kind of, I don't know. He just didn't seem like, you know, a great trustworthy guy that I'd be like, yeah, I trust this guy. But I'm suspicious of most everybody anyway, so that really doesn't count. But anyway, we turn right, and I go, you know what? If this thing's over 5 miles, I'm not following him, and I don't believe him. So I clear my trip meter. So at about 7 miles, I'm like, I'm about ready to just make a U-turn. I'm tired of this shit. So we're turning, we're left, and every time we're turning, I'm on my phone typing out for his contact, so I'll know how to find it next time. Left turn on 207, right turn on County Road so-and-so. So we're making all these turns, and I'm documenting. Also, when we were parked at the gas station, I jotted down his license plate number in case I ended up dead, somebody'd find my phone or something, but I put it under the contact because they would get my phone records, see that I called this guy, and then maybe if they found my phone, they get the contact. But anyway, so I just typed down, I got his license plate too. So I've already got hairs, I'm already kind of like, I'm not showing this guy. So now at about 8 miles, we go by this one driveway on this road where, I mean, we're out pretty much in the middle of nowhere, and there's a black car in a truck, another young kid, in a truck waiting to pull out on the road. And he had plenty of time because when we came over the hill, I was like, why ain't that car pulling out? Because that's just me kind of paying attention. We're out here in the middle of nowhere, that car's sitting there. I wonder why that car's sitting in that parking. Why isn't it pulling out? So that kind of struck me as weird because we were way up the road and that car's just sitting there. And I was like, that's kind of an odd place to park. It looks like it wants to pull out. There's no traffic, but it's not pulling out. Well, as we go by, I kind of see them make eye contact, and then as I go by, the guy behind the wheel waves and pulls in behind me. I'm like, that's odd. Why is this guy waving at me? I don't know him. I've never seen him before. We ain't friends, partners, buddies, and ain't sleeping with the same woman. What the hell is he doing waving at me? And now why is he behind me? So again, now I'm like, all right, what the hell's going on with this? So I'm still following this guy, and I'm like, you know what? If we make a couple more turns and this car's still behind me, I'm thinking those two guys are together. I'm already thinking together, but I'm not quite there yet. Go up a little bit, make a turn. I'm on my phone typing left on County Road 102, 1911, whatever. I'm jotting down. So we turn right. Here comes the black truck. Now he's behind me turning right. He made 3 turns with us, 3 separate turns as we're moving, and he's still behind me. So I'm like, okay, this guy's with him. So now I look down at my meter, and we're at about 10.5 miles. And I said, that's it. I'm done. I don't know where I'm at. I can't get out of here. If I had to call, I couldn't tell anybody where to come. Now I got this knucklehead behind me. I got this knucklehead in front of me. I still don't have an address of this place. Screw this. So as we're driving down, there's a driveway right here, and this guy's behind me, and this guy's here, so I just turn off. Well, right away I knew something up because the car following me stops on the road. He doesn't keep going. The guy I'm following stops way up the road. So by this time too, I haven't told you, I've already got my gun out. I've got a gun here, I got a gun on my door. I'm like, okay, if there's a shootout, these guys fuck with the wrong dude. So I've got my guns out, I'm ready now. Okay, if they try to pull me over or block me in, it's gonna be freaking OK Corral shootout. So I'm pulling here, but I have an escape. It's big enough to where I can spin around. I'm aware of my area. I know I can get out of here. I know where I just came. I know there's a turn right up here at the road. So I turn to this driveway. I see this car stop, and I see this going out past me. I put my car in reverse. That guy's far enough away. I back up, and I just drive right past this dude to the left of me. And he's kind of either on the phone or looking at the guy in front, kind of like, what do I do? So I leave. Well, now this guy, as I'm driving away, I see this guy backing up. Now, could he have been backing up to say, hey, is this guy lost? Why is he turning around? I don't know. I didn't really care. But my phone rang as I got to the intersection. Hey, we're almost there. Where are you going? I go, dude, I'm done. I said, I've played this game. You won't give me an address. You told me it was 5 miles off the road. I cleared my mile marker. We're now at 10 miles. I'm not driving this far. It's not worth my gas or time. I don't want to do business with you. Don't call me again. See you later. I'm done. I hung up the phone and I left. Now, when I got on the road, I watched. I didn't see them pull out. I kind of drove normal. They didn't seem like they were following me. They weren't pulling out. Were they trying to set me up? I don't know. Was I being paranoid? Maybe, probably. Who knows? But, I mean, just little things like that just bother me, and I'm always kind of... Now, there was some guy on this thing saying, you can't go around, when I did it where these news people got shot, you can't go around life being suspicious, and you can't stop everything, so you can't go around being paranoid. To me, that's a very defeatist attitude. You have to go through life realizing there's bad people, bad things happen. You are not in control of your environment. You are not in control of what happens around you, and you're not in control of anybody else. You're only in control of what you do, say, your behavior, and what you can do. That's it. All this other false control that you think you may have, and the police are here, and 911, and there's a nice no gun sign, and this is a no drug zone, and we don't serve people with shirts, and you think you're all safe. It just doesn't happen. And to me, it's smart to be sizing things up, having an escape plan, having a reason. Remember, be nice to everybody, but always have a plan to kill them. It's very easy to get caught up in the safe white zone. And I don't know how many people. I mean, I've been with women before, and we're driving in a truck. I'm like, this dude's been behind me like 3 times, and they're like, what? Why are you even watching them? What do you care? Maybe he's going to the same spot. Why are you being so paranoid? Well, hell no. Nobody fall. So I'll make some turns and do some stuff. So it ain't like nobody's ever not called me paranoid before, but it's a way of life for me. It's been that way since I've been a cop. So it just what it is. So was I wrong? I don't. Some people may say, yeah, I was paranoid, I didn't do it. Maybe they'll say I was mean and that guy wasted his time, or he wasted my time, or maybe you were being uncooperative, or maybe it was you. Whatever. I'm just telling you, the hair on the back of my neck went up. I'm always doing counter surveillance. I always tell people to do counter surveillance. I did another video where I tell you, when you stop at a red light or intersection, if you can't see where the tire touches the road, and I don't know if you can see mine, where this tire touches the road, then you're too close to that car to get away. Because if I stop and I can see where that tire touches the road over my hood, that means I have enough clearance to go left or right and I can get around that car if somebody wants to carjack me or try to come at me. So when I stop at intersections, I got this big gap. I'm sure there's people behind me saying, what's this old piece of shit doing stopping so far back? He's got 10 feet. Why is he stopping so far? They can think what they want. I'm thinking, I got an escape path if I need it. If I need to get out of here, I can go left, right around this car. So I guess the purpose of this vehicle is to, Craigslist, especially when you're dealing with people, the internet, you're going to places you don't know, they don't have an address, clues, processing things don't seem right. When you get those questions kind of like, man, this just doesn't seem right. Go with that. That's your gut. That's your survival instinct giving you a clue. Hey, I'm reading either body language or whatever. They say dogs are a good judge of people. If a dog don't like you, I probably won't like you. Well, dogs go with their instinct, and animals go more with their instinct. Horses, same way. Something comes up, they don't know what it is. Their first reaction, I'm running and getting some distance. I don't want to go make friends. I don't want to sniff it. I don't want to shake paws with it. I want distance till I figure out I'm safe. I want to be in the open where I can run. So I didn't want to go on this dirt road or continue down this road where we were going, having all these directions, not really knowing the address or street or how to call somebody, even if I needed help, or even if I dialed 911, would my phone work? We're getting way out in the middle of nowhere. But I just bailed on it and said, screw it, it ain't worth it. The 25 bucks, hey, you know what? I'll pay $100 for a half cord instead of his 85 bucks or 90 bucks, whatever it is, and I'll be done with it. I don't have to worry about the gas. I'm buying from a guy that I bought for before. I know it's out in the open. It's easy to load and unload, and that's so that's my firewood caper for the day. Hopefully you can get something from it. If not, well, hell, I just wasted my time and yours. All right, we'll end that there.